when I make this document, I'm only illustrating one thing. So I'm only going to make one artboard. I'm not going to make multiple artboards. So I'm going to go ahead and select one artboard for my document. You can see that there. I'm sticking with 8.5 by 11. I'm leaving bleed on it. And I'm going to go ahead and hit create. So I just created a new document for myself. And as we've seen in the past, the new document is constructed with one layer. It's a blue layer. It's called layer 1. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to place that pencil image because it's going to serve as a blueprint or a reference for me to draw over it. Does that make sense? So in many cases, when you illustrate something, you're either referencing an image or a drawing or a sketch that you've made that you want to trace over it. So I need to set up my file to accomplish that. Okay, so how do I do this? Well, I'm going to go ahead and go to the File menu, and I'm going to select Place. And I'm going to navigate to that folder called Homework, and there's the pencil image. So I'm going to go ahead and select the pencil image, and I'm going to click on the Place button. It loads the image as a thumbnail on my cursor, and when I click on the document, it places the image for me. Now, it's a little bit small, but that's okay because I can click on the bounding box and scale it. Did I scale that correctly? No, what did I do wrong?
You didn't scale it proportionally.
I did not scale it proportionately. You're right. I'm not doing that right. What should I do to scale it proportionately? Hold Shift down. So I'm going to hold Shift, and you'll notice that scales it proportionately. So let me do that one more time. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Place. I'm going to select the pencil image. I'm going to hit Place. I'm going to click on the document. Then hold Shift to scale this to the right size. So when I go to Layer 1 and I open up Layer 1, you're going to see that there's an indicator. Does it say path? What does it say? Linked file. So it doesn't say path. The reason, it's not a vector illustration. It's not an object that I drew in Illustrator. It's an image that I placed from an outside source. So that's why it's called a linked file. Is everybody with me? Yes, no? If I hear, yes, go ahead.
When we initially created a new file, what was the modification that you did on the right side?
So the thing that I changed was that I didn't select 3 artboards. I only made 1. And that was it. Everything else I kept the same. Everything else I kept the same. Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay. I'm going to double click on this layer, not directly on the name, because if I double click on the name, you'll notice how it highlights the name. Okay, I don't want to double click directly on the name. I want to double click to the right of the name, sort of in between the name and this little selection circle. I'm going to click right here twice, 1, 2. And when I do this, you'll notice it opens up the layer options. Do you see that? It opens up the layer options. So in the layer area, you'll notice that there's an option that says template. Do you see that? It says template. So I'm going to click on this little template button, and you'll notice that when I do this, something else happens. It automatically also checked this box right here that says dim images to 50%. So when it dims the image, it sort of washes it out and makes it gray. It's almost like it's making it transparent. Now, I don't want this. I don't want this, so I'm unchecking it. Okay, so I'll take a screen grab of this. So what we want is the template checked and dim images unchecked. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now, before I hit OK, look at the layer, look at the layers, look at the iconography, look at the icons. What is this icon right here? Somebody said it. I want to hear it louder though. It's an I, okay? It's an I. So let's see what happens when I turn this into a template. So you'll notice that it no longer shows an I. It shows a little document instead. So instead of describing it as a normal layer, this is describing it as a template. That's what this indicates. It still toggles visibility, but it's now a template layer, not a regular layer. Does that make sense, everybody? It looks the same right now. For now, it looks the same. But I actually did something really special. Okay, so let me undo this. So is this a template right now? No, it's a regular layer. How do you know? Because it has an eye icon. Okay, we're going to learn a new feature right now. Okay? This new feature changes the way that you see your artwork. It describes it in what's called a wireframe, where it shows it as an outline. Okay, so look what happens when I go to the view menu. Remember, the view menu has visual aids. It has visual aids. So you'll notice that the very first option, what is the hotkey there? Command Y. And it says, what does it say next to it? Outline. So this is going to change my view, my preview, and the preview that I'm in says right here. What preview am I in? What does it say right there? GPU preview. So I'm going to go from the graphical preview mode, so it uses the graphics card, and I'm going to go into something called outline mode, right? So that's Command Y. So when I go to outline mode, what happens to the pencil? When I'm in outline mode, what happens to the pencil? Anybody? It's gone. It shows the edges of the image. It shows the edges of the image, but it doesn't show the image anymore. Okay, so I'm going to hit Command Y again. That takes me back to GPU preview. If I hit Command Y, wireframe. Command Y, GPU preview. Command Y,